Hello and welcome to the first time's guide to attending the BD Winter National Championships at Hartpury. At this point, I've got to say a fantastic congratulations for getting this far, because to achieve a qualification for the Winter Nationals is absolutely immense. For any national championships, it is immense. So you already winners by getting this far. But if it's your first time at Hartpury or you haven't been for a long time, this guide's here just to help you along with what's going to happen, what you need to do, and basically how to be best prepared. So by now you will have your times, so you should be super excited about that. And let's get on with finding out how to make it go as smoothly as possible. I'm going to mainly talk to you about the logistics side of things, because when it comes around to the ridden prep, you should have already done that by now, and I hope you all have. I'm sure you have. So logistics is one of my personal areas of expertise. It was my job for a long time, and it still is a little bit in there. So what I'm going to do is break this down into three main sections. So before you get to Hartpury, when you arrive at Hartpury, and then on the competition day. So let's get into that. So before you go, I would think you should write ideally three lists. One for what your horse needs, one for what you need, and then a general list. So for your horse list, the most important thing is your horse's passport, which you should have already checked your vaccinations on, because at this stage we're only a few days left. If your vaccinations are out of date, you are not going, and they will check your passport and they will stop you. So hopefully your passport was all up to date and you have got it with you. And then obviously your horse's bridle, saddle, depending on whether you're staying overnight or not, depends on how much gear you're going to take with you. But if you take the gear that you take for a normal show, plus a few extras, because you never know, you might want that set of white bandages for your mounted prize giving, then yes. So write yourself a list, and when you load your lorry or your trailer, tick it all off, because if you do that, then you know that you've done it. So don't just chance it, check it. As far as the riders, then obviously you know what you need, hat, whatever, all of that jazz, like whatever you normally take. If you're staying overnight, you might want to take some change to clothes. Hartpury can either be, this time of year it's difficult, and we never know what it's going to be like. Some years it's even snowing. So just make sure you take everything for every eventuality clothing wise. And yeah, some, maybe rather than just have one pair of cream or white Judds, the breeches you take to, because you never know what's going to happen. If you spill something down you think, oh, I look like a mess, you're not going to ride the best. So always take spares. And then for general, so it depends on, again, whether you're staying or not, but you'll obviously want to take some money with you to buy photos, etc. There are trade stands there, and you'll want to eat, and just anything else that you think you're going to need. Obviously, if you're staying overnight, that is a whole nother checklist, because that depends again on whether you're staying in a hotel or have you got a hookup. But if you're used to going away, then obviously your normal going away stuff, so I shouldn't have to tell you what we need on there. But basically, make sure you've got lots of snacks, lots of things that make you feel comfortable, and that you have the bare essentials, and probably spares of all of those. Right, so on arrival at Hartpury, there will be a lot of signage around to help you go where you need to stay. Again, you will be, if you're there just for the day, you'll probably be parked in a different area to the ones that are staying overnight. Make sure you have your horse's passport to hand, because that is where it will be checked when you arrive in. And then also, if you are staying overnight, you need to arrive before 6:30, because they shut down the stable manager's office after that, and then you won't be able to get any bedding. The BD site is your Bible. All the information is on there. The guys are super helpful. Obviously, on the days of the show, they are going to be really, really busy. But if you go over to the website, which I'm going to link down below in the comment section, then just have a look at that, because it is, all the information is there. Start times, everything is all there. One thing you should familiarise yourself with before you get there is the site map. which I'm then going to go on to next. So here we have the showground plan for the 2023 version of the NAF 5-Star Winter Dressage Championships. And as you can see, everyone enters from the same point. Now, at this point, I would imagine that if you have booked a day stable, they will have you in the temporary stabling, and that everyone that's staying overnight will be up the top. But this may not be the case. So obviously, you will be advised when you get to the parking control point, which is at the bottom right of your screen, on where you will be, and just follow that. So most people will be going on the right hand side up and past all the arenas up to what is the main bit of Hartpury College, and in here you'll be directed where to park depending on where your stables are. And then from there, if you're staying, obviously you go and you find the stable manager, find out which box you're in, and then if you need any bedding, you can sort that out from here. The stable manager's office is in the sort of top right almost of the screen, as you can see. And from there, familiarise yourself with where you're going. So if you're at the Area Festival Finals, you're in the Pet Plan Equine arenas, which are outside. The warm-up for these is the other side of the big indoor, so you won't be able to see them if you're in the stables at the top. And there will be signs on which way to walk to which arenas, because they're quite sort of hot on making sure horses are going the right way. If you are there for the 5-Star Championship arena, you will warm up inside, and then you will go down to the holding area about 10-15 minutes before, and then you'll go into the arena. This is kind of a similar sort of situation. If you've been to like Arena UK, you would have been in a situation like that there. In where the big main indoor arena is where the show secretary is. So that's where you hand your music in if you're doing music. If you need to sort of let them know of anything, you may have to go there with your passport at any particular point. And also it's where you go to collect your sheets and plaques at the end of the day. The other side of this will be hospitality and trade stands, so yeah, fill your boots there. And what else can we say about this? So it sort of works and flows. You can see where the general exercise area is. That's where if you want to exercise your horse before they're allowed into the warm-up, you can go in there. But you have to book with the steward beforehand. So, make sure if you want to use that, you're well aware of that. And yeah, it is a huge showground. So it is you do really need to make sure that you've got yourself sort of on the map. Anyway, that's that. Next up is exercising at Hartpury. So there will be 3 main times when you might want to exercise. The first one is the arena walk. This, regardless of whether you're staying overnight or not, depending on your horse, depends on whether you want to do it or not. The times for this will be posted outside the show secretary's tent. There will be opportunity to know these before you get there, so if you're on the day you can find out. But in general, they are very early in the morning. Arena walks are great because it will be the only time you get to go around the competition arena apart from when you are about to do your test. And for some horses, the atmosphere at Hartpury is quite big, so I would recommend doing the arena walk. Regardless of how good your horse is, I think it's actually, when you get to the championship, like, you only have one shot at this. So go and do the arena walk. Unless you think that the arena walk is going to upset your horse, then obviously in that situation don't. But for most horses, I'd recommend, and first timers, I'd recommend doing the arena walk, because it gets them just a chance to see like the flowers and whatnot and all the boardings. And then especially if you're in the indoor for the regionals, the regional finals, because you have the trade stands down one side of the arena, so it's just nice to get the horses in there and have a look. For the arena walk, you don't have to wear competition wear, and I would actually recommend that you probably don't. Save your whites for best. I've always done it in matchy, just because what's the point of having it if you can't show it off? Yeah, as long as, obviously you have to have standard gear on, but you can wear matchy, whatever. And also you must remember to have your horse's bridle numbers on, or numbers on your saddle pads, because the horse, every time it's being ridden, should have its numbers on. just so they know who's in there. Just take your instruction from the steward, and I am actually going to do a video later in the week, which once I've done it I will have it tagged in the comments down below, but check out that, on how to cope with the arena walk. So if you want to hear more about that, like and subscribe so you don't miss out. The next situation that you might be riding in is if you're staying and you might want to do general exercise. So I know some people have horses that prefer to have a couple of warm-ups, and you are limited to just 50 minutes for your warm-up before your test. So you then might want to book in for general exercise. Again, you'll have to have your numbers on for this, and you have to book that with the arena steward. And the times that these are open are obviously on the show secretaries, tent and the stable managers, and you have to book that with the steward on the ring. So you can't just rock up and think you're going to get in, because they do limit the numbers. And finally, the only last time you will be expected to be riding is obviously before you go in. So make sure you have a look at that map that I put on earlier to work out where you're going to be, because people for the NAF finals will be in the NAF warm-up, and people for the Aero Festival finals will be in the Aero Festival warm-up, and they're quite a long way from each other, so you don't want to be rushing. You have 50 minutes before your competition that you can go in there. You don't have to go in there at 50 minutes, but you're not allowed to be in there for like an hour and a half before. So that's why you have the opportunity to use the other warm-ups, but again, you have to book. And the whole point of that is just to get you ready for being as on peak possible for going in and competing. So use your warm-up very wisely, and yeah, have fun. And then finally, the test. So you'll have done your warm-up, you'll have all your checks. What you will know by this stage, because you've been through various different competitions, is that you're not allowed a whip, you're not allowed a collar, and obviously you're not allowed your boots on. So make sure that this is all sorted out before you go in. And yeah, you'll go in, you'll go around. There will be, depending on which level you're doing, 3 judges or 5 judges, and just enjoy it. Just go in, you've qualified and you've got this far, so whatever happens in that ring, it doesn't really matter, because you've worked so hard to get to this point. One thing you do need to remember though, if you're doing music, you need to have your music in 1 hour before the class starts. This is quite important, and actually this year they are now allowing you to submit your music on an MP3 stick, on a USB stick with MP3 format, just the one song, the one set that you're doing, nothing else on there, or they might start playing the wrong thing, or on a CD, as we have been, which hopefully, if we're all going to move over to MP4 format, will be amazing, and we'll have no more skipping CDs, which is something we have had in the past. But that's just for the music guys. Like music is a whole new level of excitement. But yes, so if you're doing the regional final for the music, then you must have it in early. And yeah, so you do your test, you come out, you have a little walk round, you congratulate yourself, hopefully you've got some friends there to help you, and then you wait for the results. If you're not successful in being placed, then you can collect your sheets half an hour after the class is finished. Don't forget to pick up your plaque. You deserve it. Everyone who goes down that centre line deserves their winter finals plaque, so don't forget that. And then if you are one of the lucky few, the top 3 in each class goes forward to a mounted presentation, and that is actually in the NAF arena, which is the indoor, the big one. And yeah, and there you'll be given a time when you need to present yourself. You have to be there 15 minutes before, because at that point they're obviously putting on your rosettes and things, which you'll know from when you're at the Aero Festivals finals before, or the regional championships before. And yeah, so then you go in, you can have your funky white bandages on if you want, but you've got to be obviously properly presented in show gear. And yeah, just go and enjoy your moment. To get into the top 3 at that level is a massive achievement, so if you get there, then happy days. But if not, don't forget your sheets, and don't forget your plaque, and don't forget, if you've been top 10 place, to collect your rosettes. And yeah, and obviously you have to get a photo, because what else is it other than to get a photo? So at that point, yeah, just smile, relax, enjoy yourself, and remember that you've done so well to get there. And that's it. So if you look out later in the week, I'll be doing another video on the ins and outs of the arena walk, because I know some people have said to me that they're really worried about that. But overall, super well done for getting there, and hopefully I'll see you there. I'm going to be there from in 2023. I'm going to be there from Wednesday to Saturday. I'm there with an advanced medium freestyle competitor who's competing on Thursday, and then I'm coming back and going then back again with a friend who is in the prelim bronze area festival finals. So if you want to come see me, say hi. I'm always up for a chat. Yeah, and I'll probably be wearing my Adventures of Black and White stuff, so you'll see me. Yeah. Anyway, have fun. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe.